Is anyone awake? Boring! 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 This show felt like 8 hours. Never mind 3. Jey Uso has been replaced inside the chamber. We're not going to be running it back, thank Christ. Who did Predictable Paul replace him with, you ask? Did Drew McIntyre get added to the chamber to make it a lot more interesting? Did we leave it unannounced to build intrigue going into tomorrow night? Nah! We'll just add Logan Paul to the mix, and then put Jacob Fatu in another situation where he loses, and then we unmask the masked man, who isn't really the masked man. Bro, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes creatively, man, but whatever they are doing, I would like a piece of it. We're going to go to the venue. We're going to talk about this SmackDown tonight. Tonight we're sponsored by SeatGeek. There's a bunch of geeks on the creative team. And when I get to the venue on this Friday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Friday Night SmackDown post-show for February 27th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Friday evening, wherever you may be. Boring is the name of the game. Boring. Spell it with me, chat. B-O-R-I-N-G. What does that spell? Boring. You know, Cody Rhodes. Good old Cody Rhodes, man. You know, he's the company guy, man. He's not going to say anything demoralizing or demeaning about the place that he works for. Cody Rhodes said, and I quote, "I think there's a sleeper WrestleMania emerging this year." I don't know where Cody Rhodes is getting that from, man. All I see is people falling asleep on the road to WrestleMania. Never mind a sleeper WrestleMania card. What good is a sleeper WrestleMania card if the journey to get there is fucking boring? Oh, but JD, this was a good Raw, JD. It's not Monday night. This was a good SmackDown, JD. This was better than Raw, JD. Yes, please compare it to Monday Night Raw, which was fucking terrible. The bar is really low on that one, resident geek with a 3 IQ. He spoke with mostly sports, did Cody Rhodes, not the geek. Rhodes addressed the unpredictable nature of this year's WrestleMania and the road to WrestleMania and the creative direction under predictable Paul. Triple H. Good old Levesque over there, huh? Enjoy the season, says Cody. It's unpredictable this year, Cody said. I know there's a little bit of impatience in general. A little bit? There's a little bit of impatience, Cody says. Chad, is there only a little bit of impatience? I'm sensing a growing sentiment of impatience everywhere. What are the matches? It's a road to WrestleMania, and I think what Triple H will, ... I think there's a sleeper WrestleMania emerging, if that makes any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense, Cody. Sometimes the tenures are very obvious. Sometimes the big staple pieces like John Cena's final match. I think we're getting a sleeper WrestleMania here. Well, to be fair, Cole, we haven't seen anything that resembles a fucking WrestleMania worthy of a WrestleMania. So, I mean, maybe that's the case, but the way there is very, very bumpy as of today, February 27th, 2026. It's fucking March. That's right, it's March. Bro, we've been on this road since, theoretically, if you want to go back to January 5th, we've been on this road since January 5th and the one-year anniversary of Netflix. Officially, the road to WrestleMania starts at the Royal Rumble, which was the last Saturday in January. It was only a few weeks ago. And now we're going into March. By the end of this weekend, we will be in March. You would think that the road to WrestleMania would be in full swing, bro. I'm still waiting for it to happen. You guys are still waiting for it to happen. It's fucking boring. It's boring. Let's wait. Let's cherry pick things and do things in a timely manner. Bro, we need something now. What are we waiting for? The big story tonight. Jey Uso. We won't be running it back, chat. We won't be running it back. There'll be no yeeting in the fucking chamber. There'll be no this. We're not going to run it back. Yeet Man has been eliminated from the Elimination Chamber. You know, I find it funny, man. The new thing in WWE, the growing trend, the fad in the Fed is mystery. They love their mysteries. Either somebody's been watching some Alfred Hitchcock, or someone's been watching Scooby-Doo. Reggie? Let me at him! Let me at him, Scoob! Those are the days, man. Those are the days. What's with the mystery in WWE? We got Jacob Fatu. Nobody knows who attacked him yet. Apparently, it's Drew McIntyre. We didn't really get a definitive statement on who actually did that. We got the Masked Man. We got a second Masked Man. Now we got the crate. What's in the crate? The crate will be revealed tomorrow night. Can't wait for that to fucking flop. And tonight we got the mystery of who attacked Jey Uso. You know, I would really appreciate if you square away the other two mysteries that you got on your program before you dive into another mystery. What's with the mysteries? What's with the mystery? Everything's a fucking mystery in this company. Everything's a masked man. Everything's being held in secret fucking... Can't say it. It's ordered under lock and key. We can't say anything. We can't show anything. We can't do anything. You know what's a fucking mystery? Why this show's so fucking terrible every fucking week. That's the biggest mystery of all. You got all these people running the show, and they are the four horsemen of boredom. The four horsemen of boring. Triple H, Michael Hayes, Bruce Pritchard, and, oh, you didn't know? Who attacked Jey Uso? Who gives a shit? The only likely suspect is Randy Orton. I see people coming up with theories on who attacked Jey Uso. First of all, nobody gives a fuck. It's not leading to anything major. The only one that makes sense is Randy Orton. The only one. Drew McIntyre didn't do it. The fuck does Drew McIntyre have to do with Jey Uso? Maybe because he's attacking Jacob Fatu and that's his cousin? Who gives a shit? Really? He's the Monday Night Raw Tag Team Champion. He don't give a fuck. Some people were saying it's Jimmy Uso. Why would Jimmy Uso attack his brother and take him out of the chamber when weeks ago it was Jimmy himself that told Jey, go into the chamber and win the fucking match? Go to WrestleMania and win the world title. Some people were saying it's Jacob Fatu. I don't see that being anywhere close to a possibility. Some people said it might have been the Vision. JD, it was Logan Paul and Austin Theory. They attacked Jey Uso to take him out of the match and set up a tag team title match at WrestleMania. No. No. You guys may be worse than Levesque with that idea. Sami Zayn is a possibility. I don't know why we are maybe contemplating turning Sami Zayn heel. I don't know why anybody would want that. Do you guys want Sami Zayn as a heel? I figured Randy Orton would attack Jey Uso. Randy Orton maybe will be revealed as the real attacker for Jacob Fatu. He's got a lot of history with the Bloodline, bro. He's got a lot of history with the Bloodline. Remember, the Bloodline put him out for 18 months. It could be Randy Orton. Maybe Sami Zayn. Sami was acting a little suspicious tonight. You know, normally when you watch a mystery, when someone goes up to somebody else, they cast blame on that person and immediately say, well, we all know it wasn't me. Maybe it is Sami. Sami's been acting a little cuckoo lately. He's been acting a little unhinged. He's been acting a little jealous. He sees everybody else getting an opportunity, and he's not getting an opportunity. He's looking to place blame on everybody else but himself. He doesn't realize that what he did was cost himself a spot in the Elimination Chamber. He made himself look like a geek. Drew McIntyre handed him that match on a fucking silver platter. It may end up being Sami Zayn. So how did WWE go about the mystery of who's going to take Jey Uso's spot now that he's been mysteriously attacked? Well, they came up with the idea, instead of doing something in the Pro Wrestling Handbook and just leaving it a surprise, or maybe putting Drew McIntyre in there to defend his WWE Championship because he's been fucking things up lately, Nick Aldis came up with the bright idea after discussing things with Adam Pearce that Logan Paul would wrestle Jacob Fatu. And the winner of that would go to the Elimination Chamber. Now, Jacob Fatu was always going to at least factor into the main event plans of WrestleMania with or without the Chamber. Logan Paul is basically subbing for Bronson Reed, who Bronson Reed was the scheduled winner on Monday before he got hurt and tore his biceps. And by default, via Audible, they gave the match to Jey Uso, who was never supposed to win the match. Bronson Reed was supposed to be in the chamber. So they just substituted. They took 5 days to figure this out. They substituted the original winner, which was a Vision member, and replaced that injured Vision member with somebody else in the Vision. The only reason why Logan Paul won this match tonight is because Jacob Fatu is going to be in the main event of WrestleMania anyway, due to Drew McIntyre's actions over the last several weeks, months. Logan Paul needs to be in the chamber so the masked man can show up, reveal himself, and then set the tone for their WrestleMania match, which may or may not include Seth Rollins teaming with Bad Bunny against Austin Theory and Logan Paul. That's the only thing that makes sense. It could be LA Knight, for all we know. We don't know what LA Knight's doing. If LA Knight is not wrestling the rumored match against Brock Lesnar, I could see him being in that tag team match with Seth Rollins. Maybe something happens in the chamber. Otherwise, LA Knight's not going to have a WrestleMania match, and then the LA Knight enthusiasts are going to lose their fucking mind. But the only reason why Logan Paul won this match is because I'm assuming the masked man was supposed to infiltrate the cage at some point on Saturday night and cost Bronson Reed the match. Now he's going to be able to do that with Logan Paul because Logan Paul has gone out there and said he's guaranteeing a win in the Elimination Chamber, and Logan Paul's not winning the Elimination Chamber. He's going to get fucked over by the masked man, the original masked man, not the fucking geek that they unmasked tonight, which I don't even know why that was a thing. Like, I don't even know why they did what they did. Some geek. Didn't even know who the fuck he was. A nobody. So that's the reason why. Everybody's like, why'd they pull Jey Uso? Why'd they pull Jey Uso? Everybody hates Jey Uso. We don't hate Jey Uso. We hate WWE's overexposure of Jey Uso and the yeeting and the fucking nonsense. He didn't need to be there. He's got bigger things to worry about. He's a tag team champion. He's not going to win anyway. So you might as well fill the spot with somebody that's going to give at least some progression to the story that's surrounding the Vision. So that was the biggest takeaway from tonight. And we'll definitely dive into what else happened on tonight's show. The Women's Tag Team Championships on the line. We got new Women's Tag Team Champions. We got a U.S. Open Challenge. And we got Solo Sikoa putting the lantern on the line against Uncle Howdy. Captivating, riveting television on tonight's SmackDown chat. Oh, my goodness, man. We got a match tonight for the fucking lantern. Tonight, we're sponsored by SeatGeek. Before we get into anything in regards to SmackDown tonight we are sponsored by SeatGeek. Make sure you guys use the SeatGeek app and use my promo code JD from NY10 to save 10% off. Tonight, we are sponsored by my great friends over at SeatGeek. How many times have you guys said, I should go to that, and then you just don't? That's the worst. You see a show coming to town, a game, a concert, maybe even a wrestling event. You think about it, you check the prices, you hesitate, and then suddenly the good seats are all gone. That's exactly why I use SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with over 35 million downloads and more than 70,000 events listed. From sports, concerts, festivals, wrestling shows, you name it, it's all in one place. What I love about SeatGeek is how easy it actually makes the decision. Every ticket is rated on a scale from 1 to 10, so you instantly know if you guys are getting a good deal. Green means good. Red, it means not so good. No guesswork. No digging through 10 tabs trying to figure out if you're actually overpaying. And the seating map is huge for me. I want to see exactly where I'm sitting before I actually commit. Whether it's a concert, an arena show, or a big game, I don't want any surprises. SeatGeek shows you the view and the value before you buy. Plus, every ticket is backed by their buyer guarantee, so you can purchase with confidence. If you're planning on catching a game this season, grabbing tickets to a concert, I know I'm seeing Alter Bridge twice this year, and I can't wait, or even making a last-minute decision to hit a live event. Don't overthink it. I know I don't. Use code JD from NY10 for your next set of tickets at SeatGeek for 10% off. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code JD from NY10. Please click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app so codes are automatically applied to your account. Once again, that's code JD from NY10 for 10% off at SeatGeek. Big thanks to SeatGeek for once again sponsoring the show tonight, right here on Off the Script. Thank you to my great friends over at SeatGeek for sponsoring tonight's SmackDown post-show right here on Off the Script. Make sure you guys download the app. Use that promo code JD from NY10. 10% off. SeatGeek. There's a bunch of geeks on the WWE writing team. These shows have not been good at all. We're going to get into the rest of the show tonight, guys. We're going to try and make it entertaining. It's been a rough week for pro wrestling, man. Monday Night Raw was fucking terrible. SmackDown was boring. And Dynamite, largely uneventful. It's been one of those weeks. Will the Chamber erase all the bad taste out of our mouth? No. No, I'm not expecting much of anything tomorrow night. I am going to be shocked if they give us a semi-decent show. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you go and check out all the great content on the channel. We were live on Monday. We were live on Tuesday. We were live on Wednesday. We uploaded a big story on AJ Styles re-signing with the WWE. He will not be all elite, at least right now anyway. He's going to be a dad and a husband at home, and he's going to be the newest inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. I got all that. So go check that out. Tonight we're live, and tomorrow night we'll be live for the Elimination Chamber as soon as it's over, right here with the official post-show on Off the Script. Next week, there will be no SmackDown post-show. If I have time, we'll do something Saturday. Thursday, I'm flying out to Chicago with the Solid Monster. Friday night, we got a House of Glory show at Logan Square Auditorium in Chicago. Who is going to be at the House of Glory show in Chicago, and who is going to share a beverage with me at Logan Square Auditorium? That's what I want to know. I'll be there with him on the call. It's going to be a great show. And it's going to be a great spring, man. Man, oh man, do we got some great shit lined up. So make sure you guys are prepped. Make sure you're ready. Make sure you are subscribed to Triller TV Plus. If you can't be in the venue with all of us live, it's going to be a great WrestleMania season for us, man. We got some big-time matches scheduled coming up in the next few months. It's going to be great. Hit that thumbs up. 411 likes we got. Let's try for 750 likes. That's an easy, modest goal. Super chats are open. Get them on in. We'll hang out at the end of the show. Happy Resident Evil 9 Day. I did order it. It is downloaded on my PlayStation. I have not touched it yet. I deleted Marathon off my PS5. After 3 games, I uninstalled. It was awful. I don't even tweet about video games. Not really. Sometimes, if I have a strong enough opinion. Last night, I tweeted that Marathon was fucking awful, and this is what we missed out on Destiny 3 for. All the 6 years that went into development for this game could have went into Destiny 3, and this is what they do. It could be one of the biggest fails of all time. My tweet last night got over 6,000 likes. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. The algorithm was fucking weird last night. But you know what? Do you know who liked my tweet last night? Do you know who saw the tweet? You know who liked the tweet? Because he also hated the fucking game as well, and he put a lot more time into it than I did. The Doc. The Doc acknowledged the tweet. I was pretty stoked to see that, man. I was pretty stoked to see that. Marathon sucks, and I know we need it to be a success because we'll never get Destiny 3, but the game is fucking awful. Arc Raiders has nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. Again, hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. We love being in the algorithm. And SeatGeek, you guys know the deal. SeatGeek, download the app. JD from NY10. I want to thank them for once again sponsoring the show right here on Off the Script. SmackDown started really, really good. SmackDown started hot from the KFC Yum Center. Yum. KFC is anything but yum. Louisville, Kentucky. Immediately after the WWE intro, we went to a hectic scene backstage as Jey Uso was being loaded onto an ambulance after a backstage ambush. Chaos was everywhere. Cody Rhodes was arguing with Nick Aldis. Meanwhile, Trick Williams and Javon Evans, they were arguing. And all of a sudden, the camera cuts to the ring because Drew McIntyre's in the ring while everybody's attending to this chaotic situation in the back. McIntyre's in the ring with a microphone. McIntyre again insisted that he wasn't behind the attack of Jey Uso. But Nick Aldis appeared on the stage and he threatened McIntyre again. McIntyre is going to fuck around and eventually find out. That's what's going to happen. How we get there, that's the biggest question. Who wins the chamber? That's the biggest question. Is it Cody or is it Randy? McIntyre is going to have a play in the chamber tomorrow night. In which way, I don't know. Aldis demanded that McIntyre head to his office now so they could discuss. Cody Rhodes stormed to the ring and wanted a piece of McIntyre as he challenged him to a fight tonight, right here, right now. McIntyre refused to answer his challenge. Cody gets on the microphone and yells, "You disengaging, witless Scottish oaf," he says. He called him a little bitch. He says he's done nothing but run during his title run. Get to the back of the line, you said. I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber, and I will finally get my rematch. Randy Orton interrupted. Randy Orton's my odds-on favorite to win the Elimination Chamber. Orton said that while what happened to Jey Uso earlier sucked, his only concern was winning the Elimination Chamber and going to WrestleMania to face Drew McIntyre. Orton headed to the ring. He wanted to address Cody Rhodes face-to-face before he could say anything. Trick Williams. He walks on out. He got a mega star reaction. Lemon pepper steppers. And everything, all out there. The rumor is that WWE Creative is going to run with Trick Williams potentially being a babyface. This was reported by WrestleVotes yesterday. I mean, you might as well. Look at the reaction the guy gets. Trick said that tonight as he was looking at Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Since they were at the KFC Center, he figured he'd add a little something to the menu. Just as Williams was going to continue to speak, Javon Evans cut him off. This was very quickly becoming a Vince McMahon convoluted segment like we used to get. Old habits do not die hard, huh? Javon Evans interrupts. He said that he was going to win the chamber and beat Randy Orton's record as the youngest world champion ever. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that. LA Knight comes on out. Finally, the last guy in the chamber comes on out. He comes down to the ring. He said that he's heard a lot of things, but everyone in the chamber belonged to him, and that meant Drew McIntyre's title belonged to him as well. Williams cuts LA Knight's catchphrase off. As LA Knight was saying, with everybody saying LA Knight, Williams cut him off before he could say LA Knight by saying, whoop that trick. So they got into a, whoop that trick, back and forth. LA Knight obliged Williams' statement and punched him in the face. After he said, "Did you really just say whoop that trick?" "Yeah." And he punched him in the face. This led to Knight Williams brawling to the back. Rhodes, Evans, Orton were looking on. Randy Orton hits Evans with an RKO. He stared down Cody Rhodes before he left the ring. I don't know how this was supposed to get everybody excited for the Elimination Chamber. All of this did was bring back old memories of how Vince McMahon used to hype everybody up. He used to throw everybody out there. They'd interrupt each other one after another, after another, after another. And all of them basically don't say anything. "I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber. I'm going to win the Elimination Chamber." Yeah. I mean, I would like at least a couple of minutes from each guy to explain to me why they deserve to win the Elimination Chamber. How does this get anybody excited? Just interruption after interruption after interruption. Vince was notorious for this. And it seemingly feels like Bruce and Triple H, they want to continue to do the old things and live on the old habits that Vince McMahon used to do that made the television show terrible then, and it doesn't make the television show any better now. There's nobody in this match that stands a chance outside of Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. That's it. Logan Paul's not winning the Elimination Chamber. LA Knight, sorry, LA Knight enthusiasts. Your boy is not winning the Elimination Chamber. Good luck with Money in the Bank. You got a long way to go for that one because they pushed it back to August. It's not happening in June this year. LA Knight's not winning the chamber. Logan Paul's not winning the chamber. Javon Evans is not winning the chamber. Trick Williams is not winning the chamber. It's either Cody or Randy. I'm going with Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton makes the most sense. Drew McIntyre has attacked Cody and Jacob Fatu more than anyone else in the title picture. He attacked Randy for the first time last week, giving Aleister Black a victory in the main event over Randy Orton on SmackDown. I think that Drew McIntyre is going to somehow infiltrate the cage. I don't know when, I don't know how. I think he's going to screw Cody Rhodes out of another chance at the WrestleMania main event. Whereas he was going to give it to Sammy, I think he would rather Randy because he's already promised that Cody's not going to get anywhere near the world title or the WrestleMania main event. Now, we talked about this on TNT, and I like Jason's idea of Randy Orton potentially being the one announced as the attacker of Jacob Fatu. He would also be revealed after tonight as the attacker on Jey Uso. I don't know if they're going to go with that direction. Either way, I think Randy Orton is going to win the Elimination Chamber. He thinks Cody Rhodes is going to win. I'm going with Randy Orton. I think it makes more sense for Randy Orton to win the chamber, and we do what I said a couple weeks ago. And I've been saying as of last week, it's going to be officially announced as Randy versus Drew. Cody and Jacob Fatu are going to get into the WrestleMania main event because Drew McIntyre fucked around and found out. And Nick Aldis is going to add them because Drew McIntyre can't help himself. And after months and weeks of just doing what he wants and thinking that there will be no consequences for his actions, now he's looking at a fatal four-way. Now, granted, it sounds a little stupid because the Chamber should give way to the one remaining match that needs to fill out the other main event. It should be one man. You got 6 guys in the Chamber, and one man should emerge as the winner, and we should get that main event for night 1. This year, it's going to yield 3 winners. 1 officially in the Chamber Saturday night, and 2 others that will be added because WWE realizes that if they go with Drew versus Jacob Fatu or Drew versus Cody Rhodes, that a simple one-on-one match will be boring, especially Cody versus Drew again for the 9th fucking time. Boring. This will not end up being a one-on-one match. There is absolutely no way WrestleMania Night 1 main event is going to remain a one-on-one match. It's going to be a triple threat, or in this case, in my opinion, a fatal four-way. That's what I think we're doing. Now, who is revealed as the attacker? I don't know. Jacob Fatu tends to think that Drew McIntyre attacked him, and he said it again tonight. He said it weeks ago. But they never gave a definitive answer on that. I hope all of this leads to Randy Orton eventually turning heel, regardless if he's the guy who attacked Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, or not. Randy Orton turning heel is the play. Randy Orton winning the WWE Championship at WrestleMania is the play. You don't need to pin Drew McIntyre to lose the championship. Randy Orton wins the championship. Cody chases Randy Orton into SummerSlam, and you give the SmackDown brand a little rest with Cody as champion. Having him go to WrestleMania and wrestle in the main event to win the championship again is fucking boring. Nobody wants to see Cody Rhodes as the champion again so soon. Give him some struggle. What type of struggle should we give Cody Rhodes? Randy Orton as a heel, as a viper, as a legend killer. That's what we need. Randy Orton is walking out of WrestleMania as the WWE champion. That's my opinion. And I think that's what's best for business here. Then you can do Cody versus Randy with Cody chasing. And then you can go do Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre, which is a natural progression coming out of WrestleMania. Then you got Trick Williams, and then you got Sami Zayn, and then you got Aleister Black. There will be plenty for Randy Orton to do. That's the way that I see it all playing out. Cody winning is the worst idea. Tiffany Stratton. She was interviewed, Asuka interrupted her, and we got a match between them tonight, which never ended up being because Asuka subbed in Kairi Sane. Solo Sikoa. He went one-on-one with Uncle Howdy for the Lantern. Now, someone in the chat here tonight said that Wade Barrett said that the essence of Bray Wyatt was in the Lantern. You know, I really wish that Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, would have said something about that being the case, and we didn't have to hear it from Wade Barrett. Not like that's going to make anything more interesting, but who gives a shit? This is some of the worst television on your weekly pro wrestling shows. The MFTs versus the Wyatt Sicks is some of the most offensive, creative that we've been given for the last 6 months here. It's awful. None of it's exciting, none of it's interesting, and none of it's good. None of it. I do want to give Solo his flowers, though. Solo has slowly become a very good performer. He's always been decent. But I think Solo, when he's tasked with going in the ring and wrestling in a big-time match, I think he always shows up and goes to work. I think he's very good. Uncle Howdy. Does anybody care about Uncle Howdy? Uncle Howdy, you know, there was one point in time where Uncle Howdy was captivating and mysterious, and he was unpredictable. He didn't know where Uncle Howdy was going to show up, right? Uncle Howdy has become his own joke. He looks terrible. There's nothing about him that is even remotely interesting. And the getup is goofy. What's with the long braids, bro? Like, I get you trying to model yourself after The Fiend, but the whole getup is just goofy. None of it is intimidating at all. I thought the original concept for Uncle Howdy was fucking really, really creative. I don't know what the fuck this is. I really don't. It went from being creative and unique and interesting and mysterious to goofy, cringy, And get off my TV worthy. Yes. Wowie in the chat. 2023 Howdy was peak in terms of aura. Yes. Guy would come out, he's snapping his fucking fingers with his cane. This version of whatever the Wyatt Sicks is and this version of Uncle Howdy is just legitimately channel-changing television. Lantern's on the line. The Lantern was given championship treatment here, chat. It was on the podium. It was on that little podium by commentary that they usually place the championships on. Match started. Solo motioned himself towards the Lantern. We got a test of strength between him and Uncle Howdy. Solo shoved Howdy, missed with a big strike. Howdy then did Bray Wyatt's corner taunt to Solo Sikoa. You know the one that he does upside down? Solo locked in a rest hold on Howdy. Howdy got out of it. Two of them trade strikes as Uncle Howdy took down Solo with a big running flying forearm. Howdy tried to go for Sister Abigail. Solo got out of harm's way and rolled out of the ring. We're down at ringside now. Solo missed with the Samoan spike. Howdy dodged it, which caused Solo's thumb to make impact on the steel post. Howdy then clotheslined Solo over the timekeeper's barricade, and he stared at the Wyatt Lantern. Ooh, he's getting mysterious powers from the Lantern. We go back in the ring. Howdy got hit with a punch from Solo, who then threw him into the middle turnbuckle. And he put Howdy down as we go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Howdy was back in the ring trying to make a comeback here against Solo. He went down. Samoan drop by Solo. Solo goes for a cover. He gets her near full. Howdy then goes after Solo's hurt thumb because he hit the steel post moments before. He then pummeled his face with some strikes in the corner. He attempted a clothesline, which was blocked by Solo, who dropped Howdy with his spinning solo. He goes off to the top rope. He jumps off, and he hits the Uso splash on Howdy for a 2 count. Solo has a much better Uso splash than both of his brothers combined. I don't know why his looks good and the others don't. Howdy tried to recover here. Solo stalked him, picked him up, put him in position for his Sister Abigail of his own. Howdy countered that into a mandible claw. Solo got out of it with a Samoan spike on Uncle Howdy, which sent him into the corner. Solo managed to hit a running hip attack. And again, he went for a third, but he was taken out by Howdy, who finished Solo off with a Sister Abigail. Uncle Howdy theoretically won the Lantern back. After the match, Howdy went to go reclaim the Lantern. All of the MFTs ambushed Uncle Howdy as soon as he grabbed the Lantern, took him out in a 4-on-1 attack, and stole the Lantern back and ran away with it. We had to sit through a match for 13 fucking minutes as two guys who nobody cares about, in a feud nobody cares about, battling over a fucking lantern. The guy who had his lantern stolen won the match, won the right to get the lantern back, only to then have the lantern stolen again. Peak storytelling at its finest in WWE, chat. Instead of ending this misery, Bruce and company, Triple H and company, think it's the best idea to have the lantern once again stolen. Somebody has a fetish with storylines where things are stolen and confiscated. Bruce has a fetish with storylines which involve stealing. And Triple H has a fetish with storylines that involve masked men. Which I don't know what that says about Triple H and what he does in his off time, but both are equally fucking terrible. They actually, instead of ending it, have opted to continue this fucking horrendous storyline between two groups that are ice cold. Some great television there, chat. Some great television, man. You're going to get it again. Nick Aldis. He went to go talk to Drew McIntyre. He was arguing with Drew McIntyre. And what was left of the Vision confronted Nick Aldis. They were there on SmackDown tonight. Paul Heyman advocated to Aldis to put Logan Paul inside the Elimination Chamber to fill in for the injured Jey Uso. Aldis didn't take the bait as he suggested that it was very convenient that the Vision benefited from Uso's injury. Were you the guys that attacked him? Aldis says, I have to make some calls if you want me to make a decision like that, as there are a lot of politics and business involved in this decision. No, the Vision did not attack Us. That would be not good. Rhea Ripley. She and Io Sky were interviewed ahead of their women's tag team title defense against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Ripley said she had to take things one at a time and was focused on beating Jax and Lash tonight. Io then continued stating that after tonight, Ripley would win the Women's Elimination Chamber and go on to WrestleMania to become champion. Ripley put herself and Sky over as a team that wins because they have each other's back. It's very interesting with the outcome of the Women's Tag Team Championship match tonight, what they're doing with the Women's Elimination Chamber and the outcome of the Women's Elimination Chamber. I don't think Rhea Ripley's winning the Women's Elimination Chamber. I don't. Because if Rhea Ripley wins, you got to think about it like this. If Rhea Ripley wins the Women's Elimination Chamber, it's Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. What exactly does Io Sky do? What does Io do at Mania? I don't see Rhea getting Jade. First of all, I don't want to see that. None of these matches with any of these women involved in the chamber is going to be a good match for Jade. None of them. Jade is terrible. But if Rhea Ripley wins the chamber, you're theoretically leaving Io off the Mania card. The only way she gets involved is if she gets added to make it a triple threat match. And we get Rhea, Io, and Jade, which, why would you do that? Because that's basically what we got last year, minus Bianca Belair. Doesn't make any sense. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I don't think Rhea Ripley's winning the Women's Chamber. Tiffany Stratton. She was supposed to go one-on-one with Asuka. Asuka wanted this match with Tiffany in the back. She comes on out. And she said she wanted to keep fresh for the Elimination Chamber, so she announced Kairi was taking her place tonight to wrestle Tiffany Stratton. WWE simply swerved us. They needed Tiffany to get a win. They need Tiffany to look strong going into the chamber. You also got to keep Asuka strong going into the chamber. Why would they have Asuka lose going into the chamber? Why would they have Tiffany lose going into the chamber? This was done basically to give Tiffany an easy win and some momentum going into tomorrow night. Chelsea Green and Alba Fire made their way to ringside for whatever reason. Jelly Roll was in attendance because they were in Louisville, Kentucky at the KFC Yum Center. Green joined Tessitore and Barrett on commentary. Match started with Tiffany and Kairi. Tiffany hits a springboard moonsault in the ring before she showed us how athletic she is. Bobbing and weaving and dodging away from Kairi. She had a running hip attack on Kairi, and then she dove to the outside to take her out. As Tiffany was about to go back into the ring, Asuka distracted her, which allowed Kairi to take advantage as she sent Stratton face first into the ring post, and we go into a commercial break. Match comes back. Stratton had Sane on the ropes, connected with her cartwheel into Alabama Slam. Kairi managed to kick out at a 2 count off the Alabama Slam. Rolling senton from Tiffany on Kairi, but she went up for prettiest moonsault ever, and that was blocked as Kairi pushed her on the top rope, and she was crotched. Kairi took advantage, hits a double stomp from the top rope to Tiffany's face. She goes for a cover and gets a near fall. Stratton's down. She's in the corner. Kairi hit her a big running elbow in the corner. Stratton then avoided a dive as another cartwheel and Alabama slam was attempted by Tiffany. Kairi countered this one and turned it into a move only for Stratton to counter that with a dropkick. Kairi had Stratton for something planned on the apron, but that was reversed into a suplex attempt, and both women hit incredibly hard, coming down and crashing and burning on the outside. Sane showed some nice athleticism of her own here. She turned whatever Tiffany was doing into a spiking DDT on the apron. Like I said, both hit hard on the floor outside. We go back into the ring. Kairi hits a diving spear. Couldn't hit Stratton. Enough with it. Tiffany kicks out at a 2. Sane attempted the insane elbow. Stratton recovered, pushed Sane out of the ring and right into Alba Fire. Chelsea got up from her wheelchair and was one-footed, and she starts yelling at Tiffany, who moved out of the way at the last minute to cause a diving Kairi to then come crashing into Chelsea Green, who was selling it and overselling it. And I find none of it funny or entertaining. You know, Tiffany was on the No Contest Wrestling podcast with O'Shea Jackson, and she said that she'd love to be involved in a storyline that she can sink her teeth into. Yeah, good luck with that, honey. That ain't happening on Friday Night SmackDown when one of the head writers is D-O-double-G. Oh, you didn't know? Good luck with that. If that means getting into a feud with Chelsea Green and Alba Fire, Tiffany's never going to find a storyline that she can sink her teeth into. Stratton threw Kairi back into the ring. Rolling senton goes up top. Prettiest moonsault ever, and that was enough for the win. Goodbye. Tiffany gets the win. She's got momentum going into Saturday's Women's Chamber. Asuka, she avoided a loss. She did the right thing by having Kairi fill in for her. The Vision. They were back in Nick Aldis' office after they met him just moments ago in the parking lot. Aldis informed that he spoke with Adam Pearce. Logan Paul will be in the chamber on Saturday night. They celebrated, but he said, whoa, don't get too excited. Only if you can beat Jacob Fatu in the main event tonight. Paul Heyman did not like this move. But it was Logan Paul versus Jacob Fatu in the main event for Jey Uso's spot in the chamber. Oba Femi. He went one-on-one with The Miz. Never in 1,000 lifetimes did I expect to see Oba Femi and The Miz upon Oba Femi's call-up to the main roster. Or maybe I should have expected it because Miz is a gatekeeper for everybody that comes on up from NXT. They usually do something, whether it's big or small, with the NXT call-up and The Miz. So it was Oba Femi's time to meet the gatekeeper of WWE, The Miz. Supposedly, WWE, they are very well aware. The report says they are well aware that the fans want Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 42. Meltzer says that WWE is very aware. Are they aware their shows are fucking terrible too? I wish they were more aware about everything else. Never mind Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. That's easy. So what does that mean? Probably means we're not getting Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. But they are well aware of fan interest in seeing this match take place at WrestleMania. Will Brock want to put over Oba Femi? We'll see what happens, but that should be the match. That should be the match. If everybody is aware of it, just fucking make the match happen. No, but we got to do an open challenge. We got to waste weeks of television and tease everybody with an open challenge. Just book the fucking match and book a story and book something that resembles heat between the two. You know, all because it's Brock Lesnar and he's big and he's tough and he's a fucking beast. And Oba Femi's big and tough and he's a ruler. You know, I get that the infatuation between those two and the size between those two beasts sells itself. But man, imagine if there was just a little bit of fucking tension, a little bit of story between them. Imagine if there was some promo work between Oba and Paul Heyman or Oba and Brock. Start building it and they will come. A story, no matter how big or small, something that resembles a story. It doesn't need to be an Academy Award-winning fucking 12-month story. You can build it for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Give me something of substance. Do you realize that even something so small like that would make the match better? Just book it. I don't know what the fuck we're waiting for. If you are aware of it, book it. If you are aware of it and you know the fans want it and the shows are fucking terrible and people are talking negatively about your show, maybe you should give back to the fucking fans and give them something that they actually want to see. Just a hunch. Bell rings here. Miz rolled out of the ring and grabbed the microphone. He told Oba that they didn't have to fight. Oba told Miz, get your own mic. He slid back into the ring, did Mike Mizanin. Oba stomped on his hand. He took Miz's microphone. He ordered Miz go get his own microphone as he took the Miz's microphone. So he goes and he starts complaining that they didn't have to fight, but as the self-proclaimed locker room leader, they could use this as a teaching moment. They could use this as a teachable moment. What are you, the learning tree now? Miz talked about how many years ago he made the same mistake to go after the locker room leaders, such as The Undertaker and Triple H. He offered Oba to be his guide, stating that he wanted to be his Undertaker. Look at this guy. Look at this guy in the fucking chat, man. My guy Santi Zap is in there. Look at this. First time I'm seeing Santi Zap in the fucking chat, man. I'm kind of marking out over here. $10 super chat. I personally want more mysteries. We don't have enough. This fucking guy wants more mysteries. Look. We need more mysteries, man. Let me at him, Scoob. Let me at him. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. We need more stories. This is not it with Oba and Miz. You don't have a striking resemblance to The Undertaker, but you look like a dead man to me, he said. I actually popped with that line. I thought that was a great line. You know, a lot of people don't realize that Oba is actually very good on the microphone, which is another reason why if you build it, they will come. Give Oba some mic time with Brock. I don't give a shit how awful Brock is on the microphone. You put a microphone in his hand and you give Oba Femi a microphone. I believe magic will be made. 2-3 weeks. You don't need something that's long drawn out. Give them some time to speak to each other and get that fucking shit off their chest. Brock should be intimidated by Oba because Oba's a legit fucking badass. And there hasn't been anybody like Brock Lesnar on the roster since... I can't even tell you when. I want to say Omos, but Omos was a fucking flop. Honestly. You need it to happen. You got to give me something. Miz continued to butter up Oba here. Femi said that he did not want to accept Miz's offer, but he declared Miz was going to die tonight. Miz tried to beg him off. That didn't work out. We got started. This was I mean, this was a squash. I mean, I'm glad that The Miz really got no offense here because it would have been ridiculous for Miz to get any offense on Oba Femi. He did try for a skull-crushing finale, but that did not work. Oba tossed him like yesterday's garbage. So you can see some of the moves that Oba is going to be incorporating and what's going to be the norm for him in his WWE matches. He's got that big toss that he does. He's got the fall from grace sit-out powerbomb. He's got the running back and forth, roaring elbows in the corner. You can see what's going on. Oba's a lot better than just what they're showing us. I mean, he gave us 10 minutes with Cody Rhodes at Saturday night's main event on the 13th of December. And again, I was actually disappointed that the match didn't go another 10 minutes because Oba was handling himself very well. And I honestly wanted to see more of what he could do against somebody like Cody Rhodes. So we know he can go. He's wrestled Ricky Saints. He's wrestled whoever else down in NXT. I don't watch NXT weekly, but, you know, he knows what he's doing in there. But you could see the moves that he's going to be incorporating. Fall from grace, 1, 2, 3. Oba wins. I don't know where we get the stare down. I was talking about this with Jason on TNT. He tends to think that we'll get some geeks coming out trying to answer the open challenge against Brock Lesnar. There'll be a bunch of nobodies. And we got some major cities coming up. We got like Boston and Madison Square Garden. He feels like WWE may be saving a big stare down for Madison Square Garden. The match is made. Then we get at least a couple of weeks of build. It would be ridiculous if WWE gives us 5 or 6 Brock Lesnar appearances, has nobody come out. And it was ridiculous that nobody came out on fucking Monday because legitimately they had Lesnar in the ring. Before that, they had an Oba Femi segment, so we all knew he was in the backstage area, and he didn't come on out to answer the open challenge, which makes him a pussy, in my opinion. Makes it look ridiculous. Like, you got the guy there, everybody's chanting his name, and the segment before Lesnar went out there, Oba Femi was a part of it. Where was Oba Femi? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Hopefully they got something planned here. Oba needs to be on the WrestleMania card. This fucking around with Miz and Kit Wilson nonsense. Bro, just skyrocket this guy to the top. Carmelo Hayes. He was surprised to see Dragunov in his suit as he was hoping to face him for the United States Championship Open Challenge tonight. Dragunov says he didn't feel worthy after losing to Tama Tonga last week. Wow. Wow, man, look at that. Someone taking wins and losses seriously, man. Holy shit. Maybe Dragunov can teach Tony Khan and Predictable Paul a lesson. Carmelo says he didn't need the pep talk from Dragunov, but that Dragunov needed to remind himself who he was, because if he didn't take his shot now, someone else would. We could be setting up for Dragunov versus Hayes at WrestleMania, which I would not mind if they want to go back to Dragunov. Kind of boring. I don't want another babyface holding the United States Championship. This shit needs to end. Like, I am greedy and selfish. I want to see Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes one-on-one for the United States Championship at WrestleMania. That's what we need. Now, the rumors are from WrestleVotes that Trick Williams is going babyface, potentially. It's not official. But with the reactions, I think WWE's probably going to end up leaning into them. He's just super over. I don't know why that would make a difference. Just book the fucking match. They got history. I think having him start out at that level. I mean, Gunther held the Intercontinental title for 666 days before they eventually moved him on up to the main event scene. Like, we don't have enough stepping stone titles in the company. We don't. They're there, and WWE doesn't utilize them for what they really are. If you make someone the United States champion, it should lead way to them being an Intercontinental champion. If you make someone an Intercontinental champion when I grew up, when I watched WWF back in the 90s, and I watched in front of my fucking television in my mom's basement. Pun intended. When I watched in the basement, and I saw Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon and Goldust and Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect come out with the Intercontinental title, man, I legitimately wanted to reach through the television, looking at that title glisten in the fucking arena spotlight. Beautiful. You all knew that guys like that were eventually the next in line. The Intercontinental Championship was basically their message to you. This is the next guy that we have pegged as a champion one day in the company. Maybe. Why aren't the titles used like that now? Do you get a sense that Dominic Mysterio is the Intercontinental Champion and he's going to be a WWE Heavyweight Champion at some point in the next year or two? No. I don't think Dominic is ready for that at all. Not saying that he won't be, but he certainly could be that. He's not that now. WWE doesn't use the Intercontinental title that way. They don't use the United States Championship that way. I wish they did. I really feel like if Melo and Trick wrestled at WrestleMania, not only would it be a great match, there's history there, there's built-in history. They don't even have to do much of anything. Just take what they did in NXT and do it here on the main roster. Have Trick Williams beat Melo at Mania and the Open Challenge and go and make it a title that everybody wants a piece of and build some story around it. Melo was just quoted saying that he wants to incorporate at least some story into the Open Challenge because if you do Open Challenges every week, it does get a little repetitive. They've been doing this shit for the last 8 months now. A heel's eventually going to win it, and a heel's eventually going to put an end to the United States Championship Open Challenge because it wouldn't make sense if a heel kept the Open Challenge open. What the fuck is a heel going to give a babyface an opportunity at his title for? He's going to do everything to not defend it. Like Christian Cage with the TNT title. He's like, I'm not defending this shit. You got that idiot Copeland doing it. No, you got to earn a shot at it, motherfucker. We may be setting up, this is what we may be getting. We may be getting a Hayes versus Dragunov match. If not, I could see them do a multi-man ladder match at WrestleMania for the United States Championship. Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura, Matt Cardona, Tama Tonga, Carmelo Hayes, guys like that. I would much rather prefer a one-on-one match, but that's just me. So Dragunov needs to remind himself who he was because he didn't take it now, and Melo told him that someone else would. So we got Matt Cardona answering the Open Challenge against Carmelo Hayes. This was a good match. Wasn't great. It got better towards the end. But I feel like Matt Cardona was working a little slower than what Carmelo Hayes would rather work. Which is fine. I just didn't get an overwhelming sense of, like, excitement. This wasn't like Melo and Dragunov or Melo and Zane or Melo and Phoenix. You know, we're used to high-octane title defenses that go 15, 20 minutes. This was definitely more of a Matt Cardona match than it was a Carmelo Hayes match. You know, I'm watching this match and I'm saying, fucking Christ. WWE, they got Matt Cardona in after all this time. They take him away from the indies. 6 years on the indies, this guy was making the most money out of anybody on the independent circuit. Guy made a huge name for himself. He followed the Cody Rhodes blueprint of how to do things post-WWE and make a name for yourself. He went back to WWE, and legitimately everything that he did for the last 6 years was ultimately erased. Not to discredit what he did, because his work will live on forever. It's just his goal was to eventually show everybody what they missed and show everybody a different side of him and the fact that he should have never been fired. And the ultimate goal was to get back to WWE. Now he's back in WWE, and I genuinely feel bad because I know Matt Cardona is a lot better off than the way WWE is using him. I mean, after the first couple of weeks, it was a lot of fanfare, and he's talking to Cody Rhodes, and I'm back to win the WWE title. You're eventually going to see me. And then within a month and a half, he's hanging out with Apollo Crews backstage. He went from talking about WWE titles to Cody Rhodes to eating cheesecake and catering with Apollo Crews. I don't know. Match was good. It wasn't the best open challenge that we've seen. Cardona got sent out of the ring before a commercial break. He avoided a Hayes splash from the apron, which sent him into the announce table. Hayes sold the shit out of this spot on the announce desk, and they go into a commercial break. He bounced pretty hard. He bounced on top of the table. He bounced on the floor in front of Joe Tess and Wade Barrett. Good spot there. Melo's a great sell. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break here. Cardona had Hayes in the corner, hits his broski boot. He then catapulted Hayes' face into the bottom part of the middle turnbuckle, which looked like it sucked. Hayes kicked out. Cardona, he takes Hayes to the outside, and he hit his rope-assisted dropkick, that wrecking ball dropkick to the outside. Cardona entered the ring again. Hayes fought back. He got himself in a position that found himself draped over the middle rope. This gave Hayes the opening to hit the leg drop. That spinning leg drop he does. He connected on Cardona. Both men get to their feet. Hayes got a full head of steam here, connected with the springboard clothesline. Hayes takes a big boot from Cardona, bounced into the ropes, hit his version of La Mística. Near fall. Cardona blocked first 48, dropped him with a double underhook power bomb, and only got a 2 count out of it. This is where things really started to pick up. As soon as the first 48 attempt was blocked, things were starting to pick up. Hayes avoided another broski boot from Cardona and tossed him overhead with a back body drop. Hayes headed up top. Cardona woke up, caught him for the Frankensteiner. Cardona's Rough Rider was countered. I don't know if they call it Rough Rider anymore. Maybe they call it Rough Rider in WWE, but on the indies, when we called his matches, it was the radio silence. Like, is it really rough? Why is it Rough Rider? His name is not Zack Ryder anymore. It's the radio silence. I think Joe Tess fucked it up. From what I understand, it's radio silence. Maybe he's calling it Rough Rider. I call it radio silence. Cardona's radio silence was countered by Hayes. Hayes goes for cover. No. He then goes up top. He went for nothing but net. Cardona dodged Hayes and landed a radio silence. 2.9. Kick out. Rolling pin exchange. Case closed here. Hayes wins with the first 48s. 1, 2, 3 on Cardona. That's it. Pretty uneventful. Like I said, Carmelo has kind of taken it to, I would say, level 8, level 9 with some of these guys. With Cardona, I feel like it was like a 5 or a 6. Basically, Carmelo worked marathon. He played a game of marathon with Matt Cardona instead of playing a game of Arc Raiders, and you're swarmed by a Leaper and a fucking Bastion, and then you got some fucking geeks hiding in a room, fucking looking around a corner, and then they got their little Toro, and then they fucking blast out of nowhere. Things get a little crazy a little too quickly in Arc Raiders. In Marathon, I fell asleep in 3 games. That's exactly what happened here. It's the best way for me to put it. Anytime I could shit on Marathon, I'll take it, man. Until the game is fucking dead, and then they realize, well, maybe we should have made Destiny 3. Oh, my goodness. SmackDown's tag team division. You know what? I've came to a realization. Seriously. The realization is this box, this mystery box. Who's in the fucking box? My realization with the box is that you look at who's hanging around the box. Who was hanging around the box tonight, chat? Apollo Crews, R-Truth, the Garzas, Fraxium, Kit Wilson, Ray Phoenix. They got one of the world's best luchadors in Ray Phoenix, and he's hanging around a fucking crate. Everybody's anticipating this box to be revealed as some big talent. Bro, the fact that they got this box hanging around jobbers, I mean, if it ain't Danhausen at this point, I would be legitimately shocked. Whoever's coming out of the crate is going to be a jobber. It's basically what it boils down to. The crate is mingling with jobbers, and inside the crate is someone who is very familiar with jobbers. Danhausen. Now, what does Danhausen have to do with the road to WrestleMania? What importance does Danhausen have to do with the road to WrestleMania? Nothing. Nothing. He's very good friends with Phil. Phil is from Chicago. Danhausen's going to get a great reaction in Chicago. Wait for him to start cursing everybody. Like we need any more fucking problems with this creative team. They can't be any more cursed. They had R-Truth shilling how to order the Elimination Chamber on the ESPN app. Candice LeRae rolled a production crate with Johnny Gargano laying face down on it, and they rolled it past all of the jobbers here. Kit Wilson then rolled in and called everybody in the room toxic for laughing at Gargano. Johnny Gargano lost his tag team partner. I don't know if he is relieved to find out that Tony Khan has already fumbled Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa's probably going to get a match with Kyle Fletcher at Revolution, which should be a banger match. But he ain't winning the title back. I doubt it. They just made Kyle Fletcher a pink TNT title. Why would they make him a pink TNT title? Only for then Kyle Fletcher to drop it to Tommaso Ciampa. Doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, Candice LeRae with sad Johnny Gargano and Jordynne Grace. Bro, I have secondhand embarrassment when I watch Jordynne Grace come out to the ring. I love Jordynne Grace. I think Jordynne Grace is great. The fumbling of Jordynne Grace on the main roster should be studied in college academics across the United States. What not to do when getting called up from NXT. If you are a trainer, if you are someone who teaches pro wrestling in or out of WWE, you should use Jordynne Grace as an example of what not to do when calling someone up from NXT. This woman gets absolutely zero. Bro, I got a bigger reaction when they asked me to be in the ring to start House of Glory last Friday. You do realize that, right? I got a bigger reaction than most of the talent on this show. Not that I'm patting myself on the back or anything. I mean, a lot of people don't like me for whatever reason, but this is something that gives me secondhand embarrassment. Her theme music is so fucking awful. Like, I legitimately want to jump out of my skin. I still don't know what the person in the beginning of her song says. Who will survive? Or whatever the fuck Def Rebel puts in front of their theme music. And it's like, do, 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 do. And then it goes into like 8 seconds of like, I don't know what the fuck it is, bro. It sounds like an intro to a Korn song, a B-side to a Korn album. Like this weird guitar riff that's like, what the fuck is that? Have you listened to this song? Like, bro, if I wasn't afraid of getting a third-party content strike on my channel, I would actually play the fucking song on Spotify for you. It is so fucking awful. It is so terrible. Like, I can't express to you. It sounds like a dying cat. I can't, bro. Does she realize how awful her theme music is? Genuinely? She has to know. She has to start questioning. Paul, why am I not getting any reactions out there? Can we do something about this? Yeah, change your fucking theme music. Change your theme music. Bro, I swear to God, man, you know, if your theme music doesn't hit in the first 3 seconds, it's over. What do I got on here? Listen to this Dragon Force song, bro. You immediately know you're in for a fucking banger as soon as the note hits. Watch. With the power of the saber blade. Immediately, you know you're in for a banger. Lost in the rhythm of the galaxy. Lost in the rhythm of my mind. Bro, if your music doesn't hit in the first 3 seconds, you're toast. You're done. You're done. DX Nation. Get DX Nation out of the chat. You know what? I'll do it myself. Billy, get DX Nation out of the chat, bro. Get him out of here. Anybody that says Dragon Force sounds like ass, to me, you're a fucking idiot. Get him out. Get him out. Mark Hudson, Herman Lee. Fuck out of here. I've seen Dragon Force 7 times in fucking concert, man. Let me see you fucking play a single fucking note of what Dragon Force does. Get him out. Get him out. Fucking ridiculous. Jordan Grace's theme music is terrible. I will complain about it every week until something has changed. Who won this match, chat? Jordan Grace won. Grace took advantage after a situation where LeRae hits Grace with the boot as she saw Johnny Gargano set up. This got her attention as Gargano, he had his head down on the commentary desk. Grace took advantage as she won the match. Pump handle German suplex. Goodbye. Goodbye. Don't know what they're doing with Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace is going to be missing WrestleMania. Jade Cargill. She warned Raquel Rodriguez that she would put her down if she won the Elimination Chamber and went on to face her at WrestleMania. After Rodriguez left, Michin and B-Fab once again started to stalk Jade Cargill. I started to reach for the remote control. We're still doing Jade Cargill, Michin, and B-Fab, huh? Jacob Fatu. He was warming up for his match against Logan Paul. Cody Rhodes approached him, said that he hoped Fatu would win the match later tonight. Sami Zayn then appeared in front of Cody Rhodes. It looked like Cody didn't want to speak to Sami. Sami wanted to say something to Cody, but Cody shook his hand and left. Sami then went to go talk to Jacob Fatu and decided to make a comment indirectly accusing Fatu that he might have been responsible for the attack on Jey Uso. Fatu didn't take too kindly to Sami Zayn's accusations here. Fatu shouted that McIntyre directly screwed him out of the chamber, claymoring him. He claymored Cody. Do you know who he didn't claymore, Sami? He didn't claymore you. In fact, it looked like Drew wanted to help you win the match. Zayn tried to apologize. He's like, I'm not mentally all there. Going through some tough times. Fatu left to go get ready. And once again, in a fit of rage, Sami flipped the table angrily and tossed things around in anger before he put his head in his hands backstage as he was leaning on a production crate. He was very sad. Very sad was Sami. Is Sami Zayn going heel? Did Sami Zayn attack Jey Uso? I don't know why we would turn Sami Zayn heel. Sami Zayn turning heel, then to turn babyface and chase the world championship, going into Saudi Arabia WrestleMania next year. I don't know. Why don't we just have Randy be the culprit for both, Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso? It makes sense. They took him out. The Bloodline did. 18 months of injury. So if the voices in his head are coming back and Aleister Black is bringing back all those bad memories from all those months and months and months ago, and Randy Orton of old is starting to come back and creep back onto our television screens, why not it be Randy Orton? Women's Tag Team Championship. Rhea Ripley and Io. They defended the Tag Team Championships against Nia Jax and Lash Legend, who are now calling themselves the Irresistible Forces. I have the irresistible sensation when I see Nia Jax to leave the fucking room and go do something else. Anything else. This actually wasn't terrible. Their first match a few weeks ago was bad. This wasn't as bad. I'll just leave it at that. It wasn't as bad as the first match. So we'll pick it up after the commercial break. Before the break, we got the babyfaces here. Double teaming. The Irresistible Forces. Double dive was caught by Jax and Lash, who slammed their opponents against the barricade. And we go into a commercial break. We come back. Lash Legend. She flattens Io with a big boot, which is one of the only things she knows how to do well, besides her finish. Lash took advantage as she used her feet to choke Io across the bottom rope. So the heels are in control. Io escaped with a rolling dodge, followed by a kick to the face of Lash. This allowed Io to get to her corner and hot tag in Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley escaped a Samoan drop by Nia Jax. She held her own against Jax and Lash 2-on-1. Missile dropkick from Ripley to Jax. Knocked Nia down. Goes for a cover. Only gets a 2 count. Io was looking for a tag, but Lash pulled her off the apron. Good old-fashioned FTR maneuver right there. This gave Nia the opening to hit a Samoan drop on Rhea Ripley. And then she pulled Rhea into the corner. Jax got on the top rope to try and hit an Annihilator, and she does. Ripley escaped and hit a cheeky Nando's kick on Jax as she lifted her up for a powerbomb. She got a 2 count. Ripley floored Jax with a Shining Wizard, and that was followed by a cannonball off the apron, and we go into another commercial break. So this tag team title match had 2 commercial breaks. They gave these women a lot of time. We come back from the second break. Jax threw Ripley out of the ring as Nia and Lash were double teaming Rhea Ripley. Jax slammed Ripley across the top of the commentary table with a Samoan drop, and then she threw her into the ring for a running splash from Lash. Lash goes for a cover. She gets a 2 count. Lash connected with a choke slam as Jax followed that up with a leg drop. Leg drop looked good. That should be her finish, to be quite honest with you. The Annihilator is awful. Io made the save to break up the count. Lash had Io in a powerbomb position, but she used some speed to avoid that, and she goes out of the ring. Meanwhile, Ripley avoids Jack's running hip attack, and she goes right into the steel post. Io gets the hot tag, and she used her speed to take out Lash with a double stomp. Io was lifted in the air by Lash as she then used momentum to hit a DDT move on Nia behind her. Io then followed with a missile dropkick on Lash, followed by a suicide dive to Nia on the outside, which looked great. Lash is in the corner stunned. Io connected with the bullet train on Lash. Io hits over the moonsault on Lash, but Jax broke up the pin at the last second. Nia got Sky in position for the Annihilator. Io was saved by Ripley and pulled Legend out of the ring to break up the pin. So Nia hits the Annihilator. Lash was the legal woman, goes to pin Io. Rhea pulls Lash out of the ring, breaks up the pin, and saves the match. Ripley hits Riptide, maybe, was a half Riptide on Nia. Lash, who was legal, snuck up from behind, and the Lash extension delivered on Rhea Ripley. 1, 2, 3. Lash Legend and Nia Jax are the new women's tag team champions. The match itself was all right. There wasn't anything overly offensive about this. Lash is still not ready. But there wasn't anything overly offensive about this match as compared to the first. The first was awful. A couple of weeks ago, it was awful. Lash, I will say, I love her finish. I think the Lash extension, not only cool by name, but cool in execution. I think it's great. The reason why I like it so much is because when she delivers it, it actually looks impactful. She comes down, she hits hard, her opponent hits hard, it looks like a finish. So she pinned Rhea, and they win the tag team championships. Now, this is where things are going to get a little interesting. And this is where I see things going. There's one good way to do things, and there's one not so good way to do things. Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton are the only two women in the chamber that have a solid chance of winning the chamber tomorrow night. That's it. Asuka's in there, she's not winning. Kiana James is in there, she's not winning. Raquel Rodriguez is in there, she's not winning. With this loss tonight, and Rio losing the tag team championships, if Rhea Ripley wins, first of all, let me not even Rhea, let's start with Tiffany. If Tiffany Stratton wins, that's the safest thing to do. That's the safest move Triple H could do. Tiffany, Jade, rematch. Nobody wants to see that. The first two matches were not good. Nobody wants to see a third. Tiffany doesn't really feel all that hot right now. Nobody wants to see it. It'll be a snooze fest. 7-8 minutes tops. On to the next. Very forgettable. Nobody gives a fuck. That's the safest thing to do. Meanwhile, Rhea and Io continue to chase the tag team championships. They probably get stuck in a multi-woman tag team vortex match at WrestleMania. So if they go that option, not only are you getting a boring women's championship match, you're taking Io and Rhea, two of the top women in the entire world, and you're relegating them to mid-card garbage on WrestleMania after coming out of last year's WrestleMania and delivering legitimately probably the match of the year. I enjoyed their one-on-one match better at Evolution, but the triple threat match was one of the best WrestleMania matches, possibly of all time. So that's the safest option for Mr. Levesque. If Rhea Ripley wins the chamber, then we get Rhea and Jade. Rhea and Jade is the best option that they could go with here if it's WrestleMania, because Rhea would be in a championship match. I firmly believe it was going to be Bianca and Jade. I've always said Rhea and Bianca is the biggest match that WWE could do coming out of the women's division. I don't know when we'll get that. But if it's Rhea and Jade, then what do you do with Io? See, that's the part which a lot of people aren't thinking about. If Rhea wins the chamber, what does Io Sky do at Mania? That's all you need to think about. If Rhea wins the chamber, you cannot leave Io off the WrestleMania card. You can't. If Rhea wins, I could absolutely see WWE giving us Io and Julia for the United States title. I could see it. Now, Io's a Raw superstar, and Julia is a SmackDown superstar. But at this point, WWE doesn't really follow their rules anyway, so who gives a shit? As long as it makes the WrestleMania card better. That is a long shot. It's a long shot because Io's a Raw star, Julia's a SmackDown star, and it's a long shot because I just don't see WWE putting the Women's United States Championship on the WrestleMania card. That's the longest shot of all. I could see it. Or if Rhea wrestles Jade, we could do Io and Asuka. But at that point, I mean, is Io and Asuka a WrestleMania match? Not really. To some geeks out there, it may be a WrestleMania match. To me, it's not a WrestleMania match. Asuka's been great, don't get me wrong, but Asuka creatively has been cold. The Kabuki Warriors have been cold. After they lost the tag team championships, it's been all downhill for them. I don't like either of those options. I don't. What I'm going with is Alexa Bliss to win the Elimination Chamber. I think Bliss wins the Chamber. I think Bliss gets Jade. And I think we add Charlotte somehow. Somehow, some way. Maybe she cries herself into a fucking championship match because Alexa feels bad and they're best friends. I'm going with Bliss and Jade, adding Charlotte, making it a triple threat match. And honestly, it's either one of two things. One, Triple H keeps Rhea and Io in the tag team vortex. Or two, he understands that we need a big women's match. And Rhea remaining winless against Io and having her get that win over Io at WrestleMania is a story in itself. Now, granted, they're friends, but if they lose their opportunity and all their opportunities are exhausted going into WrestleMania, the next best thing is let's make our own WrestleMania moment. I haven't beaten you. You have a win over me every single time. Let's have some fun. I'm challenging you. Friendly, one-on-one. We love you. We respect you. Let's do it, one-on-one. Rhea and Io. Rematch from Evolution, which was a banger match. So then we get Bliss, Charlotte, Jade, Rhea, Io, whatever the women's tag team title match is, which I'm assuming the Bella Twins are going to win the tag team championships at WrestleMania because they said so. And then we get Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. But Rhea winning the chamber and leaving Io off the card, not happening. Not happening. You just can't do it. So I'm going with Bliss. I think it's going to be Bliss, Charlotte, Jade. I'm hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that we get Rhea versus Io. Then the tag team title match, which could be a fatal four-way between the Irresistible Forces, the Bella Twins, Bayley and Lyra, and the Kabuki Warriors. And then we get Stephanie and Liv. Rhea, Io, Jade, Charlotte, and Alexa. Julia? Does anybody genuinely think that Triple H is going to add Julia to the WrestleMania card? Keep in mind, WWE is going to Italy. They may save Io and Julia for that show, being that Julia is half Italian. Just keep that in mind. We might not get it at Mania, but they may give Julia a major match in Italy. And the only one I can think of is against Io. Charlotte, speaking of which, she was backstage with Bliss. They were seen talking to each other. Charlotte was eating ice cream as if she was depressed because she has no road to WrestleMania. While the two were discussing, Julia and Kiana mocked them for reiterating their goals of being double champions. Flair, while still sadly eating ice cream, said that neither James nor Julia could have any ice cream. Jade Cargill then showed up and sarcastically wished James and Bliss luck tomorrow. The MFTs met Nick Aldis complaining about something being needed and done for the Wyatt Sicks. Aldis says that it was the MFTs who were causing all the commotion and suggested that maybe it was time to do something about the tag team championships, which haven't been defended as often as he wanted. Aldis stated next week they are going to determine challengers for the tag team titles. Great. I wish it was actually with teams that we cared about. Maybe whoever comes out of the crate on Saturday night, maybe he could bless the tag team division. Nia Jax and Lash Legend said that they would be celebrating their biggest victory in the baddest way possible next week. Can't get any worse than SmackDown. Randy Orton. He was confronted by Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. You know, the new Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Black said that he hoped Orton may have woken up after the Black Mass last week, but Orton wanted none of it, as he promised to find Black after the Chamber. Orton left. Black stated, yes, because that's how we planned for it to happen. Main event. Jacob Fatu and Logan Paul. Logan Paul's out there with Austin Theory and the Oracle, Paul Heyman. This was fine. This was predictable, but fine. Austin Theory, he distracted Fatu early here, which allowed Logan Paul to get advantage. Logan hit running forearms. Fatu, he takes a boot from Logan. He then took him down with a big running hip attack in the corner, followed by some punches. Fatu continues to strike Logan with an elbow. Kept on the offensive assault here. Logan is on the ropes. Fatu takes him out with strikes to the throat. Another running corner attack by Fatu on Logan Paul. Clothesline over the top rope to Paul. Fatu then dove through the middle ropes to take Logan down with a suicide dive, and we go into a commercial break. We legitimately went to a commercial break after the Randy Orton segment, only to come back to the match and then go back to a commercial within 4 minutes. A lot of commercial breaks in this last hour. A lot of commercial breaks. Logan slammed Fatu down for a near fall. Logan avoided a running corner splash from Fatu as he hit a jumping neck breaker. Logan headed up top, missed the frog splash, walked right into his super kick from Fatu. Handspring moonsault from Fatu, only got a 2 count. Kind of sloppy, too. He does it usually pretty academically, but this one looks sloppy. Fatu headed to the top rope. Logan intercepted him with a big clubbing blow. Logan tried for a superplex. Fatu blocked it, shoved Logan down. Swanton by Fatu, blocked by Logan Paul as he got the knees up. He then hit a blockbuster followed by a springboard moonsault, which also did not look good for a near fall. Logan set up Fatu for a pulverizer. Love that name. He didn't connect. Fatu caught Logan Paul with a running hip attack. Distracted from Austin Theory and Paul Heyman. This allowed Logan to hit a low blow on Fatu. This was actually pretty great. So, Austin Theory and Paul Heyman get on the apron and they distract. Fatu goes over and grabs Paul Heyman. Logan Paul comes over and low blows Fatu, followed by a loaded punch right to the face with that titanium fist. Frog splash, which looked great by Logan. The 2 count on this, man, this was fucking great. I thought this was over. That was a great near fall. Like, I legitimately thought this was a 3. Fatu kicked out legitimately. I mean, you couldn't get any closer to a 3 count. Outside the ring, we get a masked individual attacking Austin Theory. Logan Paul intercepts the masked man, and he got unmasked, and he revealed himself as this unknown guy. Now, chat was saying that it was one of Seth Rollins' students at Black and Brave. I don't know who he is. I don't know his name. I don't know his identity. But the chat here tonight was claiming that he was a student of Seth Rollins, which would make sense because the real masked man is Seth Rollins. We may see Seth Rollins tomorrow night at the Elimination Chamber. I'll get into that in a second. Back in the ring. Fatu had Logan dead to rights with the moonsault. Drew McIntyre blasted him in the face with the WWE title, which allowed Logan to roll him up. 1, 2, 3, and Logan Paul qualifies for the Elimination Chamber. That's it. The way SmackDown went off the air. Triple H loves his masked men. He loves his mysteries. And we got a Seth Rollins student unmasked as the identity to the real identity of the masked man. Why did we get this guy unmasked tonight? WWE knows the audience is going to go and investigate who this guy is. The fact that they unmasked this guy, it's not because they don't have a clue as to what they're doing. They very much know what they're doing. The fact that this guy was given a face and an identity and TV time tonight. People are going to look into it, who he is, where he's from, what he's about. They're going to realize that this guy is a student of Seth Rollins. And then they're going to realize that if he's a student of Seth Rollins, then this is all a fucking game for Seth Rollins because they didn't know who he was. The Vision didn't know who he was. But this is all a mind game now for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is the only guy that's going to be revealed as the Masked Man. That's it. We know it. We've known it for weeks and months. Breaker went down. Bronson Reed went down. This Vision thing is dying legitimately right before our very eyes. The only way to salvage it is to fucking reveal whoever the Masked Man is now. This was step one. Logan Paul advanced to the Elimination Chamber because this spot was supposed to be Bronson Reed's. Bronson Reed, if he didn't get hurt, was going to win and advance on Monday. He got hurt. He tore his bicep. They had to call an audible. It went to Jey Uso. So instead of keeping Uso in the chamber and fucking everything up, they took Uso out per storyline. I don't know if they're going to reveal someone who attacked him. Maybe, maybe not. I don't fucking know. But they put another Vision member in there, and they're going back to their original plan, which was Bronson Reed. But instead of Reed, it's now Logan Paul. If Bronson Reed was in the chamber, the Masked Man would have cost him the chamber. Now that Logan Paul is in there, the Masked Man is going to cost Logan Paul. Because Logan Paul is not going to win the chamber. And to get him out, the Masked Man is going to take Logan Paul. That's what's going to happen. Don't know how he's going to get in there. Don't know what the situation's going to be. Triple H could keep the cage door open. When one guy's eliminated, the door's open. The Masked Man slips in. He loves his open door chamber gimmick, does Triple H. This will hopefully lead to tomorrow night where Rollins reveals himself as the Masked Man. Rollins is cleared. He was aiming for a clear date of March. He's working to get back at Mania. And then it'll be Logan Paul, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and mystery tag team partner. Maybe it's Bad Bunny. If WWE's got Bad Bunny, I'm assuming they want to keep it a secret. The only other name that makes sense is LA Knight. But LA Knight hasn't factored into anything Vision related. Maybe something happens in the chamber tomorrow night where Seth Rollins and Logan Paul, or Seth Rollins and LA Knight, they come and join forces, and something happens there where they join forces, and that's the tag team match. Does that sound like a WrestleMania match? Rollins and Knight versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory? No. Turn it into a stipulation, Texas Tornado match, whatever the case may be, and end the Vision once and for all. Bad Bunny would make a lot more sense, and Bad Bunny would certainly get a lot more mainstream attention, and Bad Bunny would give Rollins a WrestleMania match worth something. LA Knight, being his tag team partner, will not do that. As far as the men's chamber, I'm going with Randy Orton. Jacob Fatu did not get into the chamber. He's going to eventually get added to the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania. Fuck around and find out. Drew McIntyre, since January, has been causing hell for Fatu and Cody. Every single moment that they have a big opportunity to get closer to him in the WWE title, whether it's the Royal Rumble, the Elimination Chamber, and everywhere in between, he's been there to fuck them up. Randy Orton's going to win the chamber. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre is going to be in that. This is my opinion, obviously. Randy Orton's going to win the chamber. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton is going to be the official announced main event of night one, with Cody and Jacob Fatu getting added, making it a fatal four-way. That's what I think is going to happen. Drew McIntyre could also play a factor into the Elimination Chamber because he's not on the actual show. I see him making a play, maybe taking out Cody, giving Randy the victory. Maybe Randy turns heel. Fatal four-way is where I think we're going. Masked Man is going to reveal himself. Masked Man is going to take out Logan Paul. Bad Bunny or LA Knight will be Seth Rollins' tag team partner at WrestleMania. I'm hoping for Bad Bunny. Because, God, do they need something. And Bunny is very good at what he does. Which then brings me to LA Knight. If LA Knight doesn't have that going for him, what does LA Knight do at WrestleMania? Do we get LA Knight for Trick Williams? Did we see the start of that tonight? What about Sami Zayn and Trick Williams? Does Sami Zayn get added to the WWE Championship match? Maybe Sami Zayn doesn't even make the WrestleMania card because Sami is not feeling all that well. Maybe he comes and plays a factor in the match without actually being in the match. I don't know. We got to get something going here, man. They should be locked and loaded with matches by now. Seriously. Hopefully the Chamber reveals a lot and makes this road to WrestleMania a lot more clear. Thank you guys for all your support. We had 2,400 people in here on a Friday night. Thank you guys very much. That is more than what I usually get on a Friday night. SmackDown is not in a good place right now. It hasn't been in a good place in a very, very long time. And 3 hours tonight felt like 9. Felt like it didn't want to end. Thank you guys very much for all your support. We are going to get into your super chats. And then I'm going to jump on some Arc Raiders for the rest of the evening. JD, would you call marathon more of a jog? Bro, I call marathon garbage, and it was deleted last night from my PlayStation 5 Pro. Goodbye. They lost half of their audience today. They had 150,000 people playing yesterday. They had 74,000 playing today. Good old server got slammed with fucking people uninstalling. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Programming note, I will not be live for next week's Friday SmackDown post show. I will be in Chicago for House of Glory with the Solid Monster. If you will be in attendance, come and say what's up. If you guys will be in attendance, I always take a cold beverage. And if you guys can't be in attendance, Trillo TV Plus. We have not announced a match yet for the show, but I'm assuming that's coming this weekend. Hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Get them on in. And remember, tonight we're sponsored by SeatGeek. Download the app. Use my promo code JD from NY10 for 10% off. I use my own promo code because not only am I seeing Alter Bridge on Long Island, I'm seeing Alter Bridge in Atlantic City, I believe. And who else am I seeing this year? I would love to go see Mammoth. I think Wolfgang is playing Atlantic City as well. Maybe. I think he's actually playing Atlantic City next month. I might have to go see that at Tropicana. We'll see. SeatGeek is where you do that. SeatGeek. Download the app. JD from NY10, 10% off. Go and get your tickets. A lot of great shows coming up. A lot of great wrestling events coming up. SeatGeek has got you covered. It's easy. I love it. Start at the top here. Michael Krause with a $4 super chat. JD, OTS, how's everyone? Let's go. Yeah. Also, are we ready for the Chamber and the Crate? LOL. No. No, I am not excited about the Chamber. I'm here out of a necessity to you guys. I'm not here because I'm excited about the Chamber. Tone C with 36 months, drinking a Hennessy Old Fashioned. I know it's not your thing. I'm more of a whiskey person myself. But cognac pairs well with orange. That actually sounds pretty fucking good, Tone C. Enjoy it, brother. Thank you for 36 months. DC Calgary with 46 months. JD, are you going to play Resident Evil Requiem? It's fucking awesome so far. I am, and I have already downloaded it to my PS5 Pro. Fast Eddie with a $9.99. JD, at the 9:30 p.m. mark, I started getting interest in SmackDown with Carmelo Hayes and Matt Cardona. Respect, brother. Your channel never misses. #1 wrestling channel on YouTube. Thank you, Fast Eddie. I appreciate you, bro. Thomas Malloy with 35 months. Cheers to almost 3 years as a member, sir. Ever since Ryan Ward has been assigned to oversee SmackDown Creative, it's been so much better. Has it? I'm not feeling it. WrestleMess with a $1.99. Best part or best start to a show. Jey in an ambulance, not in Elimination Chamber. A lot of people who don't like the Yeet are very happy tonight. Billy with 43 months. What's up, my man, JD? Great to see you back at Hog Wrestling last week. You deserve it. Can I say it again? Lash Legend sucks. I hope for her case and for her sake, she gets better. Seriously. I'm more of a Kiana guy. I see more upside in Kiana than I do Lash. Lash is not it right now. Loch Ness with a $20 super chat. What's good, my guy? Just wanted to ask you, if it's Denhausen that is the one in the box, how do you think the audience will react? I feel not a lot of people even know who he is. Thank you for all you do. Hashtag blue-haired lady. Hashtag we the ones. Thank you, Loch Ness. The blue-haired lady, man, you've been here for quite some time if you know the story of the blue-haired lady. Danhausen will get a great reaction in Chicago. Chicago is one of the smartest pro wrestling cities. They know exactly what they like and what they don't like, and I think he is synonymous with CM Punk, and I think he'll get a great reaction. I think he fits better on NXT, but I don't know. We'll see. Cody with the $2 super chat. Was the Mean Street Posse's nephew under the mask? I don't know. Apparently, chat said he was a Seth Rollins student from Black and Brave. Guy might work at Seth Rollins' coffee shop in Davenport, Iowa. He may be a barista. I don't fucking know. Michelle with the $2 super chat. Can Triple H do anything other than mystery men angles? No. No, we can't. He's got a fetish with mystery, and Bruce has a fetish with stealing. Phil Illuminati with a 5. I was truly hoping Drew would have had to defend the title inside the chamber. Yeah, they were never going to do that. They were never going to do that. Would have been great. I wouldn't have minded it, but they were never going to do that. Ali with the $2 super chat. Would you have seen Shane run creative than Triple H? No. Shane McMahon? No. Vaughn, 502. Don't think my JD sign made TV, so here's another way to show my support. Crowd was the deadest during the Jordan Grace match. I know. I mean, it is uncomfortably just awkward when she comes out. And I appreciate the sign attempt, brother. Thank you for the $4.99. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Somebody take Johnny Gargano out back and put him out of his misery. What are they doing to him? It's depressing. Just release the poor guy already. Somebody there is getting off on seeing Johnny miserable. Ryan Matthew Russo with a $2 super chat. WrestleMania 44 in Las Vegas. No. No. They cannot be stupid to go back to Vegas after Saudi. We need to start talking about London getting a WrestleMania. I could see Tennessee. I could see Atlanta. I could see Florida again. Because I know they're redoing, they're doing renovations for Camping World Stadium. Cody with a $5 super chat. From now on, when you go off on a troll, I'm going to tell them they got TED Talked. Shout out to Ted N. Yeah, fuck Ted N. Fucking geek got banished to the upside down. Fuck Ted N. Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. Boring. Boring. Commercial boring. LOL. David Rice with a $20 super chat. I'm playing Resident Evil 9 right now. I have it on the PS5 Pro and Switch 2. The Switch 2 version is fantastic. I think the next two Raws and SmackDowns are going to really build Mania. Listen, man, I hope so. I hope so. We need something to happen. Fallen Exposure with a $5 super chat. Anyone see Jey Uso's incoherent rant on ESPN? Is that why he's off the card? LOL. I have no idea what you're talking about. Was he drunk? What was he ranting about? Dark One. 8 months. Just want to thank you all. Great friends in the chat for the birthday love. It means a lot. And all this could not be possible without you, JD. OTS forever. Thank you, Dark One. Happy birthday, brother. Joey Taylor with a $7 super chat. JD, your favorite Call of Duty games. And I feel bad for AJ Lee at WWE 2K events. AJ must have been bored getting interviewed by Minnie Portable. Well, I know Minnie is a big AJ Lee advocate, so good for her for getting that interview. Probably means a lot to her, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Hopefully some good questions were asked. Joey Taylor with a $2 super chat. SmackDown was boring tonight. Also, Joey, my favorite Call of Duty is Black Ops 3. Best game in the series. My guy Santi's app. Thank you, brother. $10 super chat. He says, I personally want more mysteries. We don't have enough. There is one grand mystery on this show. Why is it so terrible? Lenin Jimenez. I think you're singing Jordan Grace's theme. Heel Sammy dancing around Bloodline theme. Best ever. Chris with the Near Fall podcast, $4.99. The guy who was unmasked is someone who is in Seth Rollins' Black and Brave wrestling school. Yes, Santi's app came and super chatted. He ordered a drink. He left. He's one of those guys that just rolls into a bar, orders the fucking shot, downs it, and leaves. The fuck are we drinking? Lennon. Why the fuck are they burying Rhea? She's their biggest star. Do you genuinely think Rhea is buried because she lost the tag team titles? Come on, bro. And who gives a shit about a mystery man? Says Lennon. I know, I don't. Nobody cares about the mystery guy. Just unmask him already. Seth Rollins is the guy. We may get that tomorrow. And we got one more super chat here. From my guy, Adam Casper. JD, I lost track of how many times you said boring tonight. Show's boring, Adam. 13 months. For the next 13 months, you're going to hear me say boring a lot, Adam. Anyway, thank you guys very much. I'm about to get out of here. Appreciate you guys and all you do. We'll be live tomorrow night for the Chamber. Expecting a big crowd tomorrow night in the venue, man. Get your tickets. Get here early. Get your seats. Make sure you order 2 cold beverages. It's going to be a big night. And I'm sure we'll be very caffeinated and very opinionated. I should put that on a fucking t-shirt. Anyway, thank you guys for a great stream. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Check out the great content on the channel. Live Monday with the Raw Post Show. Tuesday Night Titans, episode 136 with the Solid Monster. Wednesday night, we were live for a very boring AEW Dynamite with Jesse. Yesterday, we uploaded the AJ Styles Extra. Tonight, live for SmackDown, and then tomorrow, the Chamber, and then February is over. It is over. Next Friday, I'll be at House of Glory, Chicago. Come say what's up. If you guys are going to be at Logan Square Auditorium. I will be there with the Solid Monster. Lennon will be here tomorrow. What the fuck are you guys drinking? That is a great question. That is a great question. Thank you guys very much for all your support. Comment, thumbs up. You know the deal. And hit that subscribe button down below. And SeatGeek, code JD from NY10 at checkout for 10% off. I'll see you guys tomorrow right here for the Elimination Chamber on OTS. I'll see you guys later.